One of the questions customers are always asking us at Herbert Lawns is, how often should I cut my lawn and at what height should I cut my lawn? This is a great question because this has a lot to do with the longevity and health of your turf throughout the season. So let's start out with how often you should cut your lawn. So the answer is, it really depends. I know that's not what you want to hear right off the bat, but let me tell you why it depends. So if your grass is growing super fast, meaning you're putting a lot of fertilizer down, you may be getting a lot of rain throughout the spring, usually the spring, and the grass is growing at a super fast rate, you're going to have to cut it more often than less often. So a great time to cut the grass if it's in its high growth phase is to cut it once or even twice every week, preferably twice a week, because that grass is growing so fast. So let's use this as an example. Now, I'm not going to assume that you're going to take a tape measure and measure your lawn like this, but this is a great example. So this lawn is currently about 4 inches tall, right there at 4 inches. So a third of 4 inches means about 1.25 inches. It's actually 1.33 inches, but we'll round it around to just 1.25 inches. So you do not want to take more than 1.5 inches off when you're mowing this lawn. So that kind of puts everything in perspective. 4 inches tall, don't take more than 1.25 inches off at any given one time. And as you can tell, that's not a lot. It's not a lot of grass. So that means, yes, I know, it means you're gonna have to mow more often. See, there's this rule in grass cutting that says you should never take more than 1/3 of the blade of the grass off. So 1/3. So you shouldn't take off more than just a little bit. If you run the mower through the lawn and it looks like you're cutting it in half, like 50% on the ground and 50% still high, that's too much. That's not 1/3, that's 50%. And when you're doing that, you're putting so much stress on the grass because it's cutting so much off. It's sending the grass into this stressful state, which means it's going to be more susceptible to diseases like leaf blight, necrotic ring, dollar spots, and other types of funguses, mites, grubs, and other bugs are going to eat your lawn because it's weak. So you don't want to cut more than 1/3 of the blade of the grass off. It's just a great rule to follow. You can't always get that exact, but you can get close. And just remember, if it looks like you're cutting way more off than that's left after you run the mower through one pass, you're cutting too much. And if that's happening, increase the frequency of your mowing. Go twice a week. Sometimes in markets and in areas where it's really cloudy and you're not getting a lot of heat and it's raining like crazy, you might have to mow 3 times a week. And I know you're saying, oh my gosh, John, 3 times a week? Are you nuts? I don't have time to mow my lawn 3 times a week. You don't have to do this forever. You just do this when it's growing at that fast rate. Now, generally, when the grass plateaus, especially in the summer and midsummer, and you can probably get away with mowing the lawn once every week because it's just not growing so fast. The heat is intense, the moisture is just getting sucked out of the lawn, so you can get away with mowing once a week. So just to recap so you get this right, how often should you mow the lawn? It depends on how fast it's growing. You never want to take more than 1/3 of the blade of the grass off at any one time. Now, you may ask me, John, if I take more than 1/3 blade of my grass off, am I going to kill my grass? No, it's just putting a lot of stress on it. And so you got to remember the whole premise behind a successful lawn and behind successful turf is a deep, deep, deep root system. So everything we do, from watering to fertilizing to mowing, we're trying to encourage those roots to grow deeper. And one of the ways we can encourage those roots to grow deeper is to make sure we're not taking more than 1/3 of that blade of the grass off. That's very, very important. That will give you a healthy lawn in the long term of your lawn. So remember, no more than 1/3. If it's growing high, cut it more often. If it's growing fast, cut it more often. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, please subscribe. Please give us a thumbs up or give me a thumbs up. If there's any other material you'd like to see, I'd be happy to do other videos for you. Just let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching. Enjoy the mow. And remember, green lawns make you smile.